Story number one. This happened to my grandmother. Maybe when she was, I want to say in her 40s. Yeah, maybe in her 40s. She moved to Peru when World War II finished and Italy was devastated. Somehow, a lot of people from Europe moved to South America, many of them to Chile, Peru, Colombia, and many others. Anyways, my grandmother said that she lived in an apartment complex that had stairs, and she lived probably in the sixth or seventh floor. It was a big apartment complex. So she said she had the habit of whistling when she was walking up the stairs, like you're whistling. And basically, she, you know, didn't notice that that was something that she does. It's just a habit like playing with your hair or or moving your leg or looking at your watch or checking your phone, even when you know you have no notifications. Sometimes it's a nervous habit, or sometimes it's just maybe to take your mind off some stuff. Again, my grandma is the type of woman. She was very tough. She doesn't get scared of most of the things, maybe earthquakes, but maybe it's because in Italy they didn't, earthquakes don't happen. I'm not sure, but in Central and South, it is very common, especially here. Anyways, she said that, she will walk uh, these stairs because somehow that apartment didn't have any elevator. This was probably in the 60s or 80s or something, which is normal. All the laws for people that have physical disabilities are still not well rolled in Latin America. What a surprise, right? Anyways, she said that one time in the afternoon she was coming back, I think from a party. My grandma was very outgoing. I didn't get that from her. And she said that she noticed somebody that asked her, "Why are you whistling? Are you scared?" And my grandma, being very blunt, told her, "Why do you even care? I whistle because I like it." And she said that she turned around, and the person that told her this was a very old guy in a uniform, like he was heading to the army or a battle, but one of those old uniforms, if you can picture like World War I uniforms for any given country. You know what I'm talking about, long coats and everything. And he told her, "You don't have to be afraid. You don't have to whistle. No matter what you do, even when you whistle, you'll always be scared." My grandmother just replied to him, "I will always whistle and I'm not scared. What do you want?" And he said, "No, just checking if you are scared. That's it. If I was you, I will stop whistling. That doesn't keep the fear away." Anyways, my grandma said that she found it weird because she has never seen that guy before, that old man. And she said that being as, let's say, feisty as she was, like very uh, uh, blunt and trying to get into confrontations all the time if somebody told her something she didn't like, she said that the next day she waited for that gentleman, but he didn't appear. She asked a lot of people on that floor that she was passing, "Hey, have you seen the old guy with the uniform? The one that is very rude and has like a long mustache?" And nobody knew what she was talking about. And my grandma came to the realization that when she was going through the stairs again just to see him on other floors, he was already gone. And she was like, "How can he run so fast if he's an old man? It doesn't make any sense at all. Why he is able to move so fast when he's an old man? He shouldn't be able to move so fast, especially with that clothing that looks very uncomfortable." Then my grandma came to a realization, maybe he's a ghost, maybe it's an apparition. I don't know. My grandma used to tell us this story all the time about why she doesn't whistle anymore and why she, every time that goes upstairs, looks behind her because maybe that weird ghost from that forgotten battle or army is still checking on her. Story number two. This happened to my mom maybe in the 80s or 70s. My mom is also from Peru. She lived there most of her life. We moved here to my current country because of my father. And my mom used to tell me that she went to this, let's say, aunt of her that had a big house with a piano and a lot of instruments. If you're not familiar with duendes, which is pretty much, I will say, gnomes, if you play any game, um, like the ones you see on the gardens outside, that they have these pointy red hats and things like that. My mom said that um, she used to see them. And the thing is that not only her, but everybody at the house kind of like, oh yeah, they just love music. If you have like a lot of music instruments, they love to get inside of those instruments. Like she will say that she was learning to play the piano and something will came out like shooting out of there, like it was like a rat or something, but color in red. And my mom was always terrified, like, what the hell was that? Because he was too big. Anyways, my mom at some point she said she was playing the guitar. She used to play a lot of guitar, and she said at some point she was sitting, and something grabbed her leg, and she looked down and she told me, "Just picture a very ugly Santa Claus with a pointy hat and very old looking, but with a childish smile looking at you, but very small, maybe 5 inches, 10 inches." Uh, 20 or 10 centimeters, however that is measured. He said, but you could see the detail on his face, and that petrified me. And then I saw that he moved so fast that your eyes cannot keep up like him. It's like on the cartoons when you see something dashing. She said, that is exactly like that. When you see a cartoon moving so fast, like a roadrunner, uh, that is how he moved. And he moved like in all the corners of the room. And that scared me so much that I never went back there. I still love music, she said, but every time that I think about grabbing a guitar, it makes me wonder, is there any of those creatures living here? Did I imagine all of this? And why my aunt and many people that went there always felt that something was grabbing their hands? Is that collective hysteria? Is everybody imagining things? Why she was able to see it with such detail if they move so fast? She told us that story every single time that she was looking at guitars at any time, telling us, "Oh, did I tell you guys about the time my encounter with the duende?" And I told my mom, "Yeah," but I always love hearing about it. But anyway, she is now very scared of guitars. All right, story number three. This is story number three. It actually happened to me. This was back in 2005, 2004, in the previous story from my old house. Anyways, I used to invite people to my house, but they will never come back. And I realized because as teenagers do, we stay up very late. And I asked one friend, why you don't want to come back here? And he told me in school, dude, your house is scary. I'm like, scary how? It's brand new. And he was like, dude, I don't know what it is, but there's an eerie feeling in your room and on the living room, like something is watching me or somebody's gonna jump scare me at some point. Anyways, I invite another friend that he stay at my house one time and he didn't want to come back. And I tell him, hey, I'll trust me, nothing bad is going to happen to you. You know what I mean? You will be okay. You have nothing to worry about. So I was like, in order for me to test and prove you that nothing will happen, let's stay up all night. And I will show you that nothing here will happen to you. Anyways, something that happened on my house, and I don't know if this is something that I can actually prove to you or not, but around midnight all the way to 3 a.m., it will get darker than usual. At some point, you notice how you can see your own hands even though it's dark because some type of reflection comes out of the window because you have like electricity poles. You have any type of light that enters. It's never fully dark unless there is a blackout. You know what I mean? You can see your hands, you can see your blanket, you can see your pillow, you can see your desk, you can see. I had a bunk bed, so he will sleep up and I'll sleep down. And you can see the door, you can see the wall. It's not total darkness. I mean, it's not total darkness. The only way you experience total darkness is when you faint. So, anyways, at around midnight, we'll notice that the room will get even more darker than usual, to the point that my friend will ask me, "Dude, are you seeing this?" And I was like, "No, that's the problem. I cannot see well." And we'll turn on the light and then we'll be able to see. But if we'll turn it off, the weird thing is that there was like different layers of darkness. And these different layers of darkness will terrify the crap out of me because I couldn't even see my hands. And you can always see your hands because your eyes adjust to the darkness, you know? And it started on midnight and it ended up at 3 a.m. But it was like at 12 more darkness started, but not that much. 1 a.m. 1 a.m. more darkness. 2 a.m. almost complete darkness. 3 a.m. it starts the regular darkness. I will never understand that. I hear about the phenom that sometimes people say sudden darkness. I don't know what that is, what that had to do with anything. But now I realize that after all the incidents that I have at that house, maybe it was some type of ghost, maybe it was some type of entity, or maybe it was the house itself. We're not even sure. But I will tell you this, I never experienced such darkness. The only time I experienced darkness is when I fainted due to a medical procedure because the anesthesia just doesn't like me. So basically, that is my story. It was very scary, and I don't think I'll ever experience such darkness again unless I faint again. And that's why every time I see a punk pit, I think about what truly darkness is.